Welcome everybody to VVR. It's been quite a long time. I was in the process of moving, that's why you haven't seen a review from me. The last review I've done was Cruella, but I have been watching movies and listening to music, but I am finally settled in. I have my studio up, and now it's time to review my first musical, In the Heights. In the Heights is directed by John M. Chu and is written by Kiera Alejandra Juras, and it's also written and produced by Lin-Manuel Miranda. If you don't know who this guy is, you might know him by a little Broadway musical called Hamilton. I have never seen Hamilton. I'm not a fan of Broadway musicals or any musicals brought into, the big screen. The trailers for this movie I thought were a bit dull. They felt kind of cheesy and poppy, and I didn't have any interest seeing this movie, but it was between this or Peter Rabbit. So why would I watch Peter Rabbit? So I went into this movie not expecting much, and man, was I thoroughly surprised. In the Heights stars a bunch of good-looking people doing a bunch of amazing choreography and singing and dancing. If you're a fan of Hamilton, The Greatest Showman, you're going to love this movie. If you're looking to have a good family time, bring your family, bring your loved ones, bring people to just have a really good time and just be thoroughly entertained, In the Heights is the movie for you to see this weekend. The movie is about a city full of people aspiring to achieve their dreams. There's a lot of people that just want to leave the city and try to achieve their dreams, such as the main character, Usnavi, wants to go to El Salvador and rebuild his father's shop. And that's all I'm going to say about the movie. It's really an experience. It's such a charismatic and entertaining movie that once you get past the first 20 minutes of how the story is being told and how everything's going to flow from then on, you're just hooked. For me, every actor in here exudes charisma. They're not the best actors, but they do the job well done, for sure. But what stands out in this movie is the choreography. It's insane how they got so many people to pretty much do a flash mob whenever they start singing and dancing. It's some of the best that I've ever seen, for sure. One in particular, this song and number dance, it's insane. Well, it's two characters singing on the side of a building, and it is mind-blowing. I'm looking at it as a director kind of standpoint of how they actually got the camera to move and how they were able to position these characters and turn the screen. It reminded me a lot of Inception, where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is fighting with the guy while the building is turning, and I just don't know how they do these things sometimes. It's insane that they were able to pull something like that off. That's the strongest point of this movie, is the choreography. Just mind-blowing. Apart from that, there were a couple of technical audio issues that just kind of bothered me. There was a couple of female singers that just, for some reason, whenever they were singing, it didn't fill in the room as much as everyone else was. It was, I don't know if that was just like a technical issue with the theater I was seeing, but it was just kind of like it wasn't mixed very well. Everyone else though sounded very natural, and like you can tell that when they sing, it's their voice. There were some people though where I was like, I don't think that's really your voice, and it just feels too artificial. But that's just me. Maybe because I write and produce my own music, maybe that's why I pay attention to these things, but that's just me. There's also a couple little nitpicks that they're not really worth getting into because they're just nitpicks for me. It's most likely not going to bother your experience. Other than that, like I said, if you're a fan of Hamilton and The Greatest Showman, I haven't seen them. I know of them. I haven't seen them. But this movie, from what I know of Lin-Manuel Miranda, it makes me want to go check out Hamilton. I never had any interest of The Greatest Showman, but they just weren't my thing. But I was thoroughly entertained with this movie, and I think it's going to win a lot of awards, particularly Greatest Musical. I think the Broadway musical already won some awards, but I don't have any doubts that this movie won't win any awards, such as Best Original Music Composed in a Movie for the Oscars. In any case, I'm back. I'm going to be doing some more music and movie reviews moving forward, and I'm going to give you a tour of my studio here. I think it's a little messy, so I'm going to clean up first, but I'm going to give you a tour of my studio and just kind of the things that I'm working on and bringing more into my life, and just move on from there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.